Maharashtra's Ratnagiri district is most famous for its mangoes. The mango production here is over 2,000 crores per year. But this part of coastal Maharashtra has now become the latest political battleground thanks to a proposed refinery that activists and environmentalists say will impact the mango growth. This refinery is coming with an estimated investment of 3 lakh crore rupees, and thousands of villagers, most of them women, have been blocking roads to their villages so that contractors can't undertake soil testing on the land where the refinery is supposed to be built. Today, several of them were arrested, and Section 144 has also been imposed in the area to allow refinery work. But this refinery, which is being planned by Indian companies like IOC, HPCL and BPCL, along with oil giants like Saudi Aramco and Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, has also become the latest political flashpoint in the state. While the Uddhav Sena says they stand with protesting villagers, Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, has accused Thackeray of doublespeak. The government says the same Uddhav Sena that asks why projects are going out of Maharashtra now wants this mega project stalled. But in the middle of all of these politics are serious environmental concerns. This same project was shifted from Nanar village, which is in the same district, to Bharsu Solgaon after villagers protested. Now 11 villages are concerned about the impact on them. For one, they fear mango crop will be hit by pollution. They also fear that the refinery will pollute waters that could impact fisher folk. There are health concerns for the people living there, and even fears of impact on ancient rock art in the area. Are these concerns valid, or is politics driving the protests, as the Maharashtra government claims? Before we get to the discussion, let's listen in to all the reactions today.
मला असं वाटतंय की जर बारसूचे ते हजारो लोक जे बारसूच्या माळरानावर जमले आहेत ते जर मागे हटले नाही तर त्यांच्यावर गोळ्या चालवल्या जातील आणि जालियनवाला बाग हत्याकांडाप्रमाणे बारसूचा हत्याकांड होईल की नाही होईल अशी मला भीती वाटते आणि म्हणून आम्ही लवकरच या सगळ्या प्रकरणामध्ये माननीय उद्धव ठाकरे लक्ष घालतायत. कदाचित मुंबईला त्यात लक्ष घालावं लागेल आणि आम्हाला तिकडे जावं लागेल.
हमारा रिफाइनरी को विरोध नहीं है, लेकिन वहाँ के पर्यावरण के बारे में स्थानिक लोगों का मुद्दा है. वहाँ के लोगों के अलग अलग प्रश्न हैं. आखिरी सरकार ने जनता का मत लेकर वो निर्णय लेना चाहिए. तानाशाह बनकर सरकार ने लोगों की भावना को कुचलना ये सबसे बड़ा पाप है. और हमें जो कुछ रिपोर्ट है कि सरकार के बगल बच्चों ने वहाँ पे ज़मीन लेके रखी है और इसलिए सरकार वही जगह पर रिफाइनरी बनाने के लिए जोर लगा रही है. इसका कांग्रेस विरोध करेगी. वहाँ के स्थानिकों का जो विरोध में है, जो उसके बाजू में, इस दोनों के मत लेकर वहाँ पे कैसा रास्ता बनाया जाता है ये सरकार ने बनाना चाहिए. भूमिका काँग्रेस पक्ष की आहे.
100% तुम्हाला तो व्हावाच असं म्हणणारा वर्ग मिळणार नाही किंवा नाही व्हावा असा म्हणणारा पण वर्ग मिळणार नाही. परंतु त्यांचे जे विरोध करतायत त्याची कारणं काय आहेत ते त्यांचा जर विरोध पर्यावरणाच्या दृष्टिकोनातून असेल, तिथलं एकंदरीत कोकणचं जे काही वातावरण आहे ते बिघडवण्याच्या निमित्तानं असेल तर समजावून सांगितलं पाहिजे. त्याच्यातल्या तज्ज्ञ लोकांनी त्यांच्या प्रश्नाला त्यांच्या शंकेचं निरसन केलं पाहिजे. मला आठवतं एनरॉन प्रकल्प आणताना पण बऱ्याच जणांनी त्याला विरोध केला. नंतर तो विरोध मावळला आणि तो प्रकल्प त्या ठिकाणी झाला. आता ह्या संदर्भामध्ये जे काही चाललंय मुस्कटदाबी होऊ नये. जे होईल ते संमतीनं व्हावे आणि त्याच्यातनं मार्ग काढला जावा एवढीच माझी त्याच्याबद्दलची अपेक्षा आहे.
परंतु बारसूमध्ये रिफायनरी करावी म्हणून सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंटला पत्र हे एकनाथजी शिंदे साहेबांनी लिहिलं नाही. हे उपमुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्रजींनी लिहिलं नाही. हे पत्र तत्कालीन मुख्यमंत्री उद्धवजींनी लिहिलं. तिथले आमदार जे उद्धव साहेबांबरोबर आहेत ते म्हणतात की रिफायनरी झाली पाहिजे. मुंबईमध्ये बसून जो 9:30चा इव्हेंट असतो ते खासदार म्हणतात रिफायनरी व्हायला नाही पाहिजे. तिथले खासदार म्हणतात वेळ पडली तर उद्धवजी त्या ठिकाणी जातील. मला कळत नाही की राजकारण किती खालच्या पातळीवर आलेलं आहे. हा क्रांतिकारी प्रकल्प आहे. याच्यामुळं कोकणातल्या 1 ते 1.5 लाख लोकांना रोजगार मिळणार आहे. तिथल्या शेतकऱ्यांच्या भावना मी समजू शकतो.
All right, Krishna Hegde, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, is with us on the show today. I'm speaking with Madhavan Narayanan, senior journalist. Sachin Chavan, activist, is with us on the show. And I'm also speaking with Narendra Taneja, energy expert. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us on Beyond the Headlines. Sachin Chavan, let me begin with you and understand what the concerns are in these villages. This whole project has been proposed since 2018. Devendra Fadnavis today says it's a green refinery. What are the worries?
Yeah. See, first of all, let's understand his phrase that green refinery. There is nowhere in the world there is a green refinery. He is misleading the people and all for everybody. See, what is green? There is a greenfield project. Whenever there is nothing is in the refinery and there is newly set up project is there, that is called the greenfield project. If you are expanding, then it is called the brownfield project. Therefore, it is not a green refinery. He is misleading.
Mr.
That
Chavan,
it is a
I'm
green
sure
refinery.
the Deputy Chief Minister knows the difference between green refinery and greenfield project. That is very well known.
Yeah, I don't know, but in the world you will not find that what is the meaning of the green refinery. Refinery is refinery. There is no green refinery. It is a greenfield project. Okay. Now your thing is what was your next question?
What are the concerns about this refinery? Why the protests?
Yeah, the protest is because, see, we know that it is a red category project. Unfortunately, everybody is saying that the people in the Konkan region are protesting only for each and every project. But it is not like that each and every project. You should see that what type of projects are coming in the Konkan. See, only red category projects are coming in the Konkan. See, in 30 years back, there was a Sterlite Copper, then there was the ILOC jetty, then Jaitapur nuclear power plant, then Dabhol power, that in when he said that people were protesting that Dabhol project. I will explain that what is the protest. Then now it is the refinery. See, all these projects are falling in the red category. Environment Ministry has described what is the red category project. We are protesting. See, we will not protest if the IT sector is coming. We will not protest if that food processing is coming. We will not protest if the car manufacturing project it comes. See,
No, one second. One more question, Mr. Chavan. A refinery is required. A refinery is required as a need of this country. It has to go somewhere or the other.
Yes.
The first set of villagers said, don't bring it here. Now this set of villagers are saying, don't bring it here. So where will it go?
Yes, your question is very good. First of all, let's understand whether is it our need or not. See, at the moment, India is exporting 6 crores metric tons petroleum product to other countries. At the moment, India is exporting 6 crore metric ton petroleum product. Therefore, if you expand it today, we will be exporting, say, 12 crore petroleum product. Therefore, it is not our need. It is the need of the world. See, it is maybe our need for the foreign state. That okay, I understand. But it is not the petroleum product. We are exporting today. See, and second, what is happening? Who is actually investing in the project? Aramco and ADNOC is investing 50% of in that refinery. Then who is supplying the raw material? That crude oil is coming from the Arab countries. That if the crude oil is coming from, raw material is coming from the Arab countries, money is coming from the Arab countries, petroleum products we are exporting, then why they are not manufacturing their own countries? Because they don't want the side effect of the refinery, and they want
some of the biggest refiners in the world. Mr. Chavan, I'm afraid that's not entirely like going through. They're some of the biggest manufacturers and refiners in the world as well. Let me bring in Krishna Hegde. If villagers are protesting, they are worried. Today, see the pictures. These women are lying on the ground. They have been dragged away. Will they not even be given a hearing? They have concerns. They will lose their livelihood. They will lose their farmlands. Will they be not given a hearing by the government?
No, definitely not only we are giving them a hearing, but we are also sensitive to the needs of the farmers. Our Honorable Chief Minister himself is a farmer. Another thing I want to tell you that Devendra Fadnavis ji has clarified that this is a green refinery. There is no environmental damage. There is no damage to persons. There is no damage to
what is a green refinery, Mr. Hegde?
Pollution.
What is a green refinery? Since Sachin Chauhan has raised that question, he's saying there's no such thing as a green refinery. Why are you defining this as a green refinery?
Where there is no environmental concerns. Secondly, what I want to tell you is this refinery, it's the single largest investment in Maharashtra, 4 lakh crores, and going to produce over 1 lakh jobs, which is the need of the hour for Maharashtra. This refinery is going to drive the Maharashtra economy for the next 10-15 years. And I'll tell you, there is one section, like I tell you, with Sachinji, we are with the farmers. We are going to hear them out. Whatever land they lose, they will get more than the adequate compensation. But what I want to tell you is whether it's the Samruddhi Mahamarg or whether it is the Enron, there is always a section of the people who are opposing projects. And ultimately, all these projects, they are having a go-ahead. But let me tell you again, we stand by the farmers, we stand by the locals. We will hear them out. And this is, a driving project for Maharashtra as a state. And we are going to be one of the biggest exporters of petrol and diesel after this. India is going to be the biggest exporter of petrol and diesel about it.
Is there 1 minute? Is there something 2015? This entire project has been hanging fire since 2015. The BJP Sena government before the 2019 elections, which was the Sena, undivided Sena and the BJP, had stalled this project ahead of the 2019 elections. Now come 2024, talk of the refinery again, protests again. Narendra Taneja, I want to first ask you, is there anything such as a green refinery?
Oh yes, of course. A green refinery means that basically the entire process, right, starting from the construction to import terminal, processing, petrochemical, and then export plus the distribution. They are going to use maximum, renewable energy wherever possible. And at the same time, whole process would be such that, the contamination of air or water or would be the bare minimum. You see, even if you construct an apartment in your village or in Bombay or wherever, it does really cause something to environment. To say you can't construct even a small hut without contaminating something there. So if you're talking in absolute terms, that's totally different story altogether. But these days, these refineries are very modern refineries. And if you go to refineries such as go to Jamnagar, there are two big refineries. These are old refineries, but still, when you look at the total, cost to environment in that area, these are pretty good. In fact, if you look at the mangoes that they grow in these two refineries in Jamnagar, you should run a story on that. You'd be surprised. So, but my sense is that, it's for Maharashtra and the people. When you say you don't want a refinery, basically you may be playing a very short-term and short-sighted politics, and you may be working against the people of Maharashtra. There are many states who would like to have this refinery. Many states. In Maharashtra, or the people, those who are basically are working against them, people are instigating them, they're working against their interests, they're working against the jobs for them and all that. But if they can get some politics, maybe 3-4 seats for the Vidhan Sabha in the next election, if that's their target, at the cost of the future of millions and millions of people, is for them to decide, and people eventually will see through it. But Maharashtra is lucky to have this investment. This is basically led by 3 Government of India companies.
Why was it, Mr. Taneja, why was it then called, or why was it stalled in 2019? There was no MVA that time. There was no issue.
There were issues.
The question, may I just articulate the entire question, and then you can respond, please. Then, if the refinery goes ahead on this new location, isn't it unfair to these people, considering that the villagers in the original location protested and got it out of the way because elections were in the way? Now that the political configuration in the state has changed, Everything
No,
has
you
changed.
see, no, let's go by cold facts. I mean, this protest, wherever you go in India, if you come up with a good idea, you need some land, they are protest. There are some people, they love to do it. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. The fact is that the project requires, it's not only refinery, by the way, it's also petrochemical plant there, which is kind of working for the future. When people talk of green energy, renewables, you use a lot of plastic in that. And that's going to come out of the petrochemical plant. Out of the 6,000 acres that's required, roughly about 45% the farmers have already signed. There are still negotiations going on with them, but my argument is simple. That I think these are large companies. They must go keep politics out and go and talk with the people over there. Explain to them, for instance, what is green refinery, how it's going to create jobs, how it's going to basically expand the economy, and not only of that region but the entire Maharashtra. Why it is important? And if you go on like that, you see the foreign investors are not going to come. They will go somewhere else. There are other states ready to have this project.
Okay,
But that's why, and at the
is
same time,
this as simple as a case of environment versus development? And the charge that the same set of political leaders who keep saying that, Maharashtra lost Foxconn, Maharashtra lost this, that, and the other project, now are protesting when there is a project going forward in the state of Maharashtra.
You're asking me, I mean, Tamanna, this entire Ratnagiri thing brought back memories of the Enron power project of the 1990s. I actually visited Dabhol at that time while working for Reuters. And the irony is as follows. Sharad Pawar, as chief minister, did a negotiated contract. It's very important to understand the history to give you a parallel. And then Shiv Sena under Bal Thackeray protested against it. And when Shiv Sena came to power, they used it to change the fuel from gas to naphtha on the ground that it is cheaper. And then, naphtha is more environmentally harmful. And then Enron itself went into all kinds of scandal and bankruptcy. And the entire project, after dragging on for more than a decade, became a small part of the whole piece where it changed hands and all that. It only goes to show that politicians in general change their tune as suited and are happy to rehabilitate themselves and the project accordingly. But having said that, Tamanna, let me say it is perfectly legitimate and legal for people to protest over issues concerning a refinery, whether it is for compensation for land, whether it is for rehabilitation of people, or whether it is against environmental lack of environmental safeguards or anything. Because as you know, we live in the age of ESG investments. Environmental, social, and governance are very important part of the world economy now. And climate change is a real, well-proven threat to the global economy. So even if it is a so-called green refinery, it requires environmental clearance. Nobody here at the moment seems to be speaking of true expert opinion. And let's not talk about branding, because Greenland is called Greenland. It has no greenery. It was called Greenland by someone who wanted people to migrate there. This is history, recorded history. So a green refinery will be just a good marketing ploy. But having said that, let me say experts with no political inclination and true environmental call need to take a decision on this. Let me also point out that the Ratnagiri area is a beautiful area. It's really green, one of the finest coastal belts of India. And therefore, any petrochemical come oil-based project has to be thought through completely and not given to any business lobby, because they can employ marketing people who talk smart stuff. And they can pay off politicians also. Let me be very blunt. It doesn't matter which party. Everybody can be in some way or the other fixed. But true environmental activism is required. We saw the Narmada project. People crib about it. But the point is, were it not for the protests, the tribals there would not have been properly compensated. And even the pains of displacement would have been maximum. It was finally minimized. So it is very important in a democracy to understand that protests are legitimate, whether it comes from villagers or civil society groups. We have RTI.
I want you to respond to that, Krishna Hegde, because it seems like we've been very swift to label these protesters as politically motivated?
No, not
There
at
is
all.
a
Like I said,
reason they've come out. There's a reason they've come out and protested. Is there a
Tamanna ji,
guarantee today? Is there a guarantee today? Is there a safeguard that there will not be an oil spill possibly in the future? Is there a guarantee and a safeguard that their livelihood in terms of, we've talked about mangoes, fish, other cultivation will not be impacted?
Manaji, that is exactly what I'm saying, that we are concerned totally for the farmers, for the locals, whether it is the environment, whether it is their crops, whether it is their compensation. And we stand by the farmers in every possible way. Secondly, I must tell you that it is neither the Congress nor the NCP also who has protested. It is one section of Uddhavji's party where some of the MLAs also for the project. Only one section of people living in Mumbai are protesting against this project. And let me also tell you, it was the same Uddhav Thackeray ji who said that shift the project from Nanar and allocate it at Barsu. So now he's playing a double standard, that first he's only given the letter, and now when the project has come up, his people are protesting. But however, I don't want to get into the political bit of it. As I said to Sachin ji also, we stand by the farmers. We are sensitive to their requirements. We will compensate. We will ensure that the environment, the crops, and the air or water pollution is not affected. And therefore, we want the only good thing for Maharashtra is that this project drive the economy, that a proper good investment, the highest in the history of Maharashtra, comes and Maharashtra benefits. And also the locals benefit from the local jobs that they are getting.
Sachin Chavan, this all sounds like it's a very good intent. It's all a very good intent. They're willing to speak to farmers. They care about the locals. Why don't you come to the discussion table?
See, first of all, I'll answer this question, your question, but I need to clarify earlier question. See, in March 2019, the earlier notification was cancelled for Nana Refinery, and the other new places was notified. See, from the new place that later was given by the Uddhav Thackeray was in March 2022, 3 years. Within 3 years, no state has come forward to say that, see, Maharashtra has cancelled this project, please give us to us. That is on the record. No state has come. Secondly, what has happened? See, first of all, let's understand what is happening there at the actually the ground level. See, March 2019, the project was cancelled. And then after that, what has happened? It is just a 3-4 kilometers. There is one river in between, and that new place is which is that they intend to set up the project is just a 3-4 kilometers away. That one river is there in between. Now between those, now within 3 years, about 2,500 acres land is sold, that trail deeds has happened. We are having the index 2 from the RTI. So what is he? One thing you must just think that, see, the Maharashtra Shiv government cancelled the project in March 2019. Now, when the Shiv government is in the power, that Uday Samant was also industrial minister, and at that time, so many sale deeds has happened. So it is what is the intention of the people that who were buying the land? They were aware that, okay, if we buy the land in some other place, we can bring again that new project here and make money. See, I'll tell you what the actual rate of the per acre, what they have been the sale date. It is just 2 lakh rupees acre. And those people who have bought the land, they are demanding 25 lakh rupees acre. That is the on record.
So is your concern that the 1 minute? So is your concern the environment, or is it that the villagers have not got their due price for the land?
No, it is not my concern that the price, but the people who are supporting the refinery are the outsiders who has purchased the land. The local people are not interested in money. See, the person who has earlier somebody said that, okay, Samruddhi Mahamarga, they got the compensation, they protested, they got the Mahamarga. See, there was no any pollution issue in the Samruddhi Mahamarga. There was the only compensation issue. We are not fighting for the compensation. We are fighting for our livelihood. See, we want the livelihood. We also want the GDP. We also want the foreign exchange. But that GDP, we do not want that. See, I just deviate from my subject. See, just in 2006, India's GDP was $1 trillion. And then in 2021, the India's GDP is $3 trillion. It is triple. Can you explain that what is the farmers' per capita income is it the triple in
Okay,
15 years?
Mr. Taneja
Then
will
in whose
respond to
pocket
this.
that GDP has gone?
Mr. Taneja will respond to this. These broad figures about GDP and energy reliance and all that is fine. What about the people living there on that land? Let Mr. Taneja respond. Yes.
Efficient times. If you want only debate on activists, I mean, that's a different story. It's your show. Do whatever you want to do. That's why I was reluctant to come, actually. You see, the point here is that, these companies have yet to mobilize capital. And they are looking for collaboration with Saudi Aramco right now. With this kind of environment, these kind of things, then probably they will shy away. They won't come here. And environment, everybody knows environment. Who doesn't know about it? I mean, and the fact is 80% of global economy is still run on fossil fuels. The fact is our economy is oil economy. Transition is happening very fast in our country. We are among the top countries in the world in terms of renewable and all that. But at the same time, we need more, fossil fuels. We cannot really have a smooth transition or just transition without fossil fuels. All those people who talk about, giving big lectures, don't they use buses? Don't they use cars? Don't they use aeroplanes? They do. And don't they use plastic? The fact is that, we have to be realistic. In India, these people on the panel, I mean, these are prosperous upper middle class people. Think about those people who are still living in energy poverty. 70% Indians live in energy poverty. In India, 3 billion on the planet. Yes, we want environment and we must care. At the same time, we have to see how to strike the right balance. We cannot talk like, the green Ayatollah.
I'm not sure what your concern was, Mr. Taneja, and why you didn't want to debate on this, but I think this is a very important debate.
Let me complete.
Yeah.
Let me complete. You see, point I'm saying, we need to strike the right balance. Those who are protesting, it is their democratic right. There can't be two views on that. But at the same time, those who are playing politics, it's important to identify them and have a chat with them. You are working against the people of Maharashtra. There are other states ready for this kind of project. Who would not be interested? Other countries are also interested in the neighborhood only. So those people who just in the name of environment or politics
how are you going to identify who is an activist, who is an environmentalist, and who is a politician? Okay, I'm going to get Madhavan to respond first. Yes, Madhavan.
Actually, it's very simple, Tamanna. We are going round and round the mulberry bush. The simple fact is that economics and environment are two separate issues, but they are joined at the hip somewhere. We'll have to understand that I know corporate people do not apply for farmers the same rules they apply for themselves when they buy or sell a company. There is a net present value based on discounted cash flows, which is a sophisticated way of measuring what is the price of a corporate asset. Why can't we employ similar principles for farmers? Because their livelihoods are affected, their full generations of earnings are affected. So you can talk about intergenerational investment when you're investing in an airport or a highway by some corporate groups very favored by the government, but you cannot apply net present value of discounted cash flows to farmers. 2 lakhs is something, complete pittance. Anyone should be outraged by that mention of that amount. Therefore, we want to bring sophisticated economics and expert environmentalism and not this superficial talk of growth and all, because there is a distribution of wealth based on refineries. The farmers and the local community needs to get a share of the wealth, and that should be they should be getting shares in the company. If it is Aramco, they've got enough oil in Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much. Let there be a trust of shares given to local community and not just cost. They are not cost. You're investing in the farmers.
Madhavan, just
So
one
you can
quick question.
employ
Madhavan, if you're going to make it
you
so
can employ
onerous, just one question. If you're going to make it so onerous for any investment to come into this country, we already don't have a great track record in actually executing projects from paper. This same project is hanging fire since 2015. Either by now it should have been made or scrapped. You can't just go on in eternity. We already
Absolutely.
don't have a great track
let's
record.
talk
You
to
want to make it
experts,
so onerous. You want to make it so onerous for any
Wait, hang
investment to come in.
hang on. I've covered Silicon Valley project. Every employee gets, even masters get stock options. ESOPs is a sign of reducing inequality in a company. And similarly, reducing inequality in an economy. We as an economy, I mean, can you tell me what is the Gini coefficient of the Indian economy? We lack sophistication in economics, except when it comes to dealing between two companies. We need sophistication of the corporate variety, even for rural citizens. That is a promise of the Constitution of the Republic of India.
Okay.
We
Keep
need
it
that.
fair, make it fair. Keep
Yeah.
it fair, make it fair, and at
And know how
least
to measure
don't
it,
treat
and
them so
don't-
badly. I want to play those pictures again of the protests that took place over the last couple of days. You know, we are all sitting in a comfortable environment and having this discussion. But I want to show the pictures of the people that we're talking about. Those women who are lying there, sitting there to save their land, the women who were, put into vans and taken away. There's a reason that they're sitting there. And let's not say, oh, they're just politically, influenced. They don't know their own mind. I think at the very least, we need to listen to what those concerns are and address them very, very seriously. On that note, I want to thank all of you for joining us on the first discussion this evening. There's some breaking news coming in.